What's up, guys? This is Jacob,
And Contessa.
and we just wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you guys about some really cool stuff going on in life. Over the past year or so, Contessa and I have really been praying and talking about what it would look like for us to have a kid.
Yeah, a baby.
Yeah.
Snuggling. So, guys, we are adopting.
Yeah.
That's the big announcement. That's it. We're really excited. Both of us, even before we were married, wanted to actually adopt. That's one of the things that brought us together.
So when we first started looking at adoption agencies, one of the biggest things that we saw was just a need for kids who are not of white descent, if you will, to be adopted into families that resemble their culture and their community of who they are. And so as we started to look for agencies, we actually stumbled upon one called Agape.
And the first thing that I noticed was on their homepage was an urgent need. And the need was for interracial and or African American couples to adopt. And so with that, I told Jacob, I was like, hey, this is us. We can do this. I think like this is great. And so we ended up having a conversation with one of the employees there and was invited to have a in-person interview. So we did that last summer and we were approved to actually go through that agency. So now we're here. One of the big things is I myself I love my culture. I love who I am. I love being around my family. I love people who actually understand and enjoy and celebrate my culture. And so therefore allowing the opportunity for a child who may be of African American descent to have that same experience in our household is incredible. I think that is amazing.
So with adoption, and specifically with them, it's something that would be an open adoption. So there will be a continued relationship that we'll have with the birth parent. And that's something we also desire, just because we know that while adoption is this beautiful story of redeeming something that someone may not want or can't kind of care for at that time, we know that that child is not like ours biologically.
Yeah.
And we want them to be able to have a continued ongoing relationship with their kind of parent of birth.
Yeah.
That they can know where they come from, who they are.
Yeah.
Because in the end, we know that ultimately like that child belongs to God.
Yeah.
And we're just here to steward the gift that God has given us and to do that well. And we believe that's best done in adoption through open adoption.
I grew up in a single parent home, and so my father wasn't active or present in our home. And so even from just a bio perspective, I desired to know who my father was. I desired to know like what he liked, what he enjoyed. And so to give that mom who may not at this present time have the resources to care for that child and who is doing the bravest and most courageous thing that a human being can do, I want that child to know who their parent is. I want them to be celebrated. I want them to grow up and know, oh my gosh, I have so many people who care about me, who love me, and who want the best for me.
How can you guys help? The first is just that you would be willing to pray with us. This is something that we know will take months to potentially years to complete. And the biggest, honestly, prayer need that we have is there's a law in the state of Alabama that after a parent gives birth to a child and decides to give it up for adoption, they have 14 days to legally change their mind.
15 days
15 days.
to legally change their mind. Texas, 48 hours. Alabama, 15 days.
So this means that during that 15-day period, we will have to be in Alabama near where that child was born. It's something where we'll get the time to bond with that child, but just praying for our hearts that we would prepare ourselves for that time, because that will be really emotional and draining.
Pray for mom and baby in all circumstances surrounding that right now. Whether the baby is born right now, whether the baby is in utero, please be praying for just the health of the child the emotional health of the mom, just resources that she may need just to get by, support, and really pray for our relationship with mom, that we can bond with mom, that we can walk through this difficult time that is joyous and also full of grief.
And also, we know it sounds kind of cliche, but if you feel led to help us financially we would not deny you that gift at all. Adoption is something that is not a cheap process. We are really grateful that Agape is incredibly conscious of this, so they do make the cost as low as possible. But one of the things that they do add into it is counseling services for the birth parent. And that's something to help them kind of transition out of that season, as well as us having the financial need of being able to stay in Alabama for an extended amount of time after the adoption or after the baby is born.
So there will be a few ways that you can help financially. Or two ways you can help financially. One would be just giving donations. And as you see, boom, we will have a website, You Caring, so that you can give.
To us adopting.
Yes. And another way is we're making a baby registry. So for people who don't necessarily want to give money but want to give tangible things, guys, we need it. We would love the help. And so I will be building a baby registry that will go live as well. And you can send things straight to our house, which would be amazing.
If you guys have any questions, any thoughts at all, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, email. One of our desires is that we would include the people around us in everything that we do. That was one of the reasons why we recently moved from Fort Worth to Dallas, was to be able to include the people that we love in our life, to be around them and close to them. And so just as we want to make ourselves more visible and transparent with our friends and family, we also want to allow you guys to walk through this process with us.
Also, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us, chat, me being quirky, Jacob being serious, and for just giving, and whether that be in prayer or financially or both, we really are sincerely thankful.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's do this.